Very good morning to one and all. Hope you are all fine and doing well. Yes, you know that we are dealing with the concepts of gravitation. In the concepts of gravitation, we have dealt with Newton's universal law of gravitation, and then we have introduced the mathematical formula F equal to G into m1 m2 by r square to calculate the force of gravitation between any two masses, which is a universal phenomenon. Later there was a discussion on the vector mathematical form of the force of gravitation F bar, and then we dealt the characteristics of gravitational force, which is an always attractive force, which do not depend on the presence of the medium in which the two masses are placed. So like that we have dealt with different characteristic properties of gravitational force. And then we have introduced the concept of acceleration due to gravity, which is the acceleration produced in the body due to force of gravity is defined as acceleration due to gravity. And then a mathematical relation between small g and capital G, where small g, acceleration due to gravity, small g equal to capital G into capital M by r square, because the acceleration due to gravity is independent of mass of the body. It depends on mass of the planet and it depends on size of the planet. So the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of any planet, on the surface, Gm by capital R square. M is mass of the planet, R is radius of that planet. So it depends on mass of the planet and size of the planet, but not on the mass of the body. That's the point. So that is formula for acceleration due to gravity on the surface of Earth or any planet. The corresponding values you need to substitute. But if you have taken the body to a height or to the deeper parts of the Earth, then there will be change in the value of G. Yes, the value of G varies with respect to altitude, height. As you are going for higher altitude, the value of G gradually decreases and varies according to the equation Gh equal to G of 1 plus H by R whole power minus 2. If you are going for very smaller heights like 100 meter or 1000 meter, where H is far less than capital R, then it will be G of 1 minus 2H by R. Once refer the notes, all these mathematical formulas. Later, if you are going to the deeper parts of the earth, then also the value of G gradually decreases to 0 at the center of the earth. So though you are going to the deeper parts of the earth, the value of G gradually decreases to 0 at the center of the earth. That's why the apparent weight of the body is 0 at the center of the earth. And based on geographical conditions, based on the presence of metal ores under the earth, the effective mass of the earth may vary. We dealt what is the effective mass, we have discussed it. So due to the change in the effective mass of the earth, the value of G may vary from one place to another place. And later, as it depends on the distance square, and earth is not a perfect sphere to consider the radius. It is wider at the equator and shorter at the poles. So the value of R will be minimum at the poles, so that the value of G will be maximum. When it comes to the equator, R value will be maximum, so G value will be minimum. After discussing all these concepts of variation of acceleration due to gravity according to different factors, now here our topic is all about how the value of G will be affected with the latitude of a place. Different places on the surface of the earth can be defined with a latitude. Latitude nothing but it is an angle that will be helpful to locate a particular place on the surface of the earth. The geographical location of the place can be identified with a latitude. So first of all, you should know how to define a latitude of the place. Here, this is the surface of the earth, and here it is North Pole, here it is South Pole, you suppose for some time, so that here it is East and here it is West. Of course, the line joining this east and west, you can call it as an equator. This is an equator. You can imagine a horizontal plane in this equator. In the equatorial region, I repeat, in the equatorial region, you can imagine a horizontal plane which you have to call it as equatorial plane, because the horizontal plane is taken at the equator, so it is called equatorial plane. Now here, for example, if I am going to join any point on the surface of the earth to the center of the earth, which is radial line, radius, the line joining any point on the surface of the earth to the center of the earth, we call it as radial line. And of course, you know very well, if you have placed any body of mass small m on the surface of the earth, it will be pulled by acceleration, it will be pulled by the force of gravity, mg, towards the center of the earth. The force of gravitation on the mass by the earth will be always directed towards the center, because you know it is the central force you have learned. Now, if I wish to define the latitude of the particular place where my body is placed, I wish to define it. Then imagine a horizontal plane parallel to the equatorial plane. At the place where you wish to define the latitude of the place, imagine a horizontal plane parallel to the equatorial plane. So here it is. Of course, it will be a circular plane. It will be just like a circular plate, of course. So imagine a horizontal plane at the place parallel to the equator. Now here this will be center of the plane and this will be radius of the plane, because I told you the horizontal plane which is parallel to the equatorial plane will be also just like a circular plane, so that it will have a center. Let me take it as some P. So that here let me take the radius is small r. So small r is the radius of the plane parallel to the equatorial plane. Small r is the radius of the plane, radius of the horizontal plane that is supposed at the given place. Now here, very interesting point what you need to understand here it is, the angle between this horizontal plane at the given place and the line joining the given place to the center of the earth is latitude of the particular place, which is represented by phi. So I repeat, suppose a horizontal plane itself indicates the plane is parallel to the equatorial plane. Remember, when I am telling a horizontal plane, again no need to say parallel to equatorial plane. So imagine a horizontal plane at the given place. That plane parallel to the equatorial plane will make an angle with the line joining the given place to the center of the earth. The angle is called latitude. This is the first point what you need to understand. What is meant by latitude of a given place? Suppose a plane parallel to the equator at the given place. Join the given place to the center of the earth. The angle between the plane and the line joining the given place to the center of the earth is called latitude of the place, which is represented by phi. Next point. After defining what is meant by latitude, you see, you know very well, Earth rotates around its own axis from west to east. You know this point. Earth rotating around its own axis. Earth rotates around its own axis from west to east. So this is, of course, this is axis of rotation. The line joining North Pole and South Pole of the Earth will act as axis of rotation. So about this axis of rotation, your Earth rotates from west to east about the axis of rotation. So that automatically the mass on the Earth I repeat, the mass of the earth will also move along with the earth. This mass also will move along with the earth because the earth is rotating around its own axis, so that the mass that is placed on the earth also rotates. Then here it will experience a centripetal force towards the center of the circular tract. Centripetal force, you know very well, you have learnt in the basic classes earlier. Whenever a particle moving along a curved track around a fixed point, it should experience a centripetal force towards the center. For example, here electrons revolving around the positively charged nucleus. Then these electrons should experience a centripetal force. Sir, I didn't learn, sir, I have learned only nuclear force of attraction on the electrons. Yes, that a nuclear force of attraction on the electrons will act as a centripetal force. Centripetal force is not something new. Already the existed forces have to play the role of centripetal force. For example, planets are revolving around the sun. So here there is a force of gravitation offered by the sun on the planet that will act as a centripetal force, the force of gravitation. Its role is played by gravitational force. Centripetal force role will be played by gravitational force. So in that way, the existed forces plays the role of centripetal force. So when Earth is rotating around its own axis, I repeat, when Earth is rotating around its own axis, the mass that is placed on the Earth will execute its motion along with the Earth, but along a circular track whose radius is smaller. Hope you got the logic. When Earth is rotating around its own axis, the mass that is placed on the Earth will execute circular motion whose radius is r. Then my mass will experience a centripetal force towards the center of the circular path. So ultimately, my mass that is placed on the surface of Earth is experiencing, are you following? It is experiencing two forces. One is centripetal force towards the center and gravity towards the center of circular tract, and gravitational force towards the center of the Earth. This is what you need to understand. But at this moment, what you need to get the logic here it is, whenever there is a centripetal force towards the center, immediately there will be centrifugal force acting away from the center. You know, centripetal force which acts towards the center of the circular tract, centrifugal force will act away from the center of the circular tract. But here you need to recollect the laws of motion concept, where centrifugal force is a pseudo force. Very important that you have learned at 8th class laws of motion concepts, but I repeat, the force that appears to be there but will not be there, we call it as a pseudo force. Of course, here you can call it as a centrifugal force. See, electrons are revolving around the positively charged nucleus, and there is nuclear force of attraction towards the center of the nucleus. So electrons should be pulled by the nucleus to fall into the nucleus. But still electrons are stable in the orbit to move around the nucleus. So it appears that against the centripetal force, against the nuclear force towards the center, there is some force acting away from the center, keeping the electrons stable in the orbit. Is it there really? No. It appears to be there, which is called pseudo force or centrifugal force. Here also, here when the Earth is rotating around its own axis, then this mass will execute its motion along with the circular tract. So there is centripetal force acting towards the center of the circular tract. Then do the mass move towards the center? No. The mass will be stable in the particular circular tract and will execute the motion. So it appears that there is something acting away from the center. Is it there? No. Which is called a centrifugal force acting away from the center, which is a pseudo force. Of course, the pseudo force comes to play when you are talking about non-inertial frame. I am writing here. With respect to non-inertial frame, recollect this word that you have learnt at 8th class standard. With respect to non-inertial frame, a body experiences pseudo force. Non-inertial frame nothing but accelerating frame of reference. What is my accelerating frame here? You know, Earth. Earth is my accelerating frame. Immediately you may get surprised. Sir, how Earth is accelerating frame? Yes, Earth is executing rotatory motion. So during the rotatory motion of the Earth, the direction of motion continuously changes. So it will have acceleration towards the center, which is called centripetal acceleration. So any frame of reference, any coordinate system that is attached to Earth will be a non-inertial frame or accelerating frame of reference. You may get wonder, sir, I suppose Earth is at rest. So any frame of reference attached to Earth is a stationary frame, which is inertial frame. Yes. So based on the situation, sometimes we consider any frame of reference attached to Earth as inertial frame. But while coming to the concepts of gravitation, Earth rotation, then we consider Earth is an accelerating frame of reference. So in that case, with respect to the accelerating frame, there are here force of gravitation and centrifugal force. Shall I write here? Centrifugal force. But, sir, what about the centripetal force? I told you, there will be nothing new as a centripetal force. Already existed one will act as a centripetal force. Sir, what is existed one? Again, you will get the see. The centripetal force I told you acting on the particle. This component of mg acting towards the center of the Earth. Mg will have its component mg cos phi towards the center. This is mg acting towards the center of Earth at an angle phi. Then its component along with the radial line is mg cos phi will act as a centripetal force. So there will be nothing new force. Existed forces should play the role of centripetal force. Because why I am clearing this point, when somebody asks how many forces experienced by the body, people may say 3. Sir, centripetal force, gravitational force, centrifugal force. People will say 3 forces. No, only 2. Gravitational force mg towards the center. Its a component only will act as a centripetal force. Have you got clarity? The component of mg only will act as a centripetal force, which is mg cos phi. Remember that. That is not something new. So how many forces experienced by this body with respect to non-inertial frame? I mean with respect to Earth, your body is experiencing 2 forces. One is mg, another one is centrifugal force. Hope you got clarity. Not 3. Some people may say, sir, centripetal force is there, the third force. No. The component of mg only will provide centripetal force. Mg cos phi. So ultimately, now I am coming to the conclusion. Just before entering into the conclusion, let me recollect all the points to you. First point. What is meant by latitude? The angle made by the plane at the given place with the line joining the given place to the center of the Earth is called latitude. Second point. If you place any body on the surface of the Earth at the given place, as Earth rotating around its own axis from west to east, your body also moves along a circular track of radius smaller. As the body is moving along a circular track along with the Earth, it will experience a pseudo force, a centrifugal force away from the center with respect to Earth. I am speaking with respect to Earth because I'm talking about acceleration due to gravity produced in the body due to Earth. That's why with respect to Earth I have to speak. So with respect to Earth, your mass experiencing a centrifugal force because Earth is non-inertial frame. Any body in the non-inertial frame, any body in the accelerating frame will experience a pseudo force. So away from the center. So ultimately, with respect to Earth, my body experiencing two forces, mg and fc. So now the conclusion is the net force experienced by the body is equal to the resultant of centrifugal force and gravitational force. Now my conclusion is if your body is experiencing only the gravitational force mg, then acceleration produced in the body due to gravity is g. That's all. Because F equal to mg, A equal to g. Because F equal to ma, we will write that ma is equal to mg, then A equal to g. But as Earth is rotating around its own axis, in addition to the gravitational force towards the center, my body will experience a centrifugal force away from the center. This is what you need to understand. Let me repeat it. If my Earth is not rotating, then my body will experience only mg force. The net force on the body is mg, that's all. So ma equal to mg, a equal to g. So acceleration produced in the body is equal to g, that's all. But Earth is rotating around its own axis, so that in addition to mg, my body will experience a centrifugal force away from the center. That's why resultant force is Fc plus Fg. Now resultant force I can write it as m into A net, because Newton's second law of motion, F equal to ma, is Fc bar plus Fg bar, modulus of A bar plus B bar vectors, root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Theta is angle between Fc and Fg. Centrifugal force, gravitational force. This angle. As latitude is phi, then this angle is 180 minus phi, because straight angle kada akkada. So 180 minus phi. Have you got clarity? So the angle between these two forces is 180 minus phi. So my conclusion is, if the Earth is at rest, body will experience only mg, so A equal to g. But as Earth is rotating, the net force experienced by the body is the resultant of two forces. Then in that equation, phi will play its role. Phi means latitude. So this all comes because of rotation of Earth. How latitude can influence the acceleration due to gravity means because of rotation of Earth. If Earth is not rotating around its own axis, your latitude will not be able to influence acceleration due to gravity. As Earth is rotating around its own axis, body experiencing centrifugal force in addition to gravitational force, so latitude is coming to play its role in the mathematical formula. That is the reason why variation of g with latitude can also be dealt as effect of rotation of Earth on the value of g. That is the reason. How the Earth rotation will affect the value of g means same explanation. That is what you need to understand. So anyway, here Fc is a centrifugal force. You know centrifugal force formula, mv square by r. This is equal to mv equal to r omega whole square by r. This is equal to mr omega square. You know omega is angular velocity. If you don't remember, let me explain. You know, when the body is moving along a straight path, displacement covered per unit time is called velocity. But when the body is moving along a curved track around a fixed point, then the angular displacement, the angle through which the particle has turned, is called angular displacement. The angular displacement per unit time is called angular velocity, omega. So like velocity of the particle in straight line motion, there is angular velocity for the particle moving along a curved track around a fixed point. So here V equal to R omega, you have learned in vectors of 8th class, V equal to R omega, then mR omega square, finally, centrifugal force. And gravitational force is mg. We will substitute these two terms in this mathematical formula and we will try to get m into A net. A net is nothing but net acceleration due to gravity produced in the model, which is called new value of g. This is existed value of g in the absence of rotation, but Earth is rotating around its own axis. My body experiencing centrifugal force, so that the value of phi will come up to the space. So this is the concept where we are dealing with the variation of g value with latitude or because of effect of rotation of the earth, how the value of g varies. The same explanation for both the points. So you have got clarity, I think. Now I am going to calculate the resultant of these two and I will continue this mathematical equation. Once you go through it and note down all the content of what I have taught till now. Now I will continue this mathematical equation. I will arrange the entire board. So make sure that you have written this clearly. I will start with this and here I substitute it. Centrifugal force is mr omega square. Gravitational force is mg. Angle between FC and FG is 180 minus 5. Modulus of A bar plus B bar, root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Angle between them is 180 minus 5. We will continue with this right now. Going to continue the calculation part. So m into net acceleration is equal to square root of Fc square plus Fg square. Fg gravitational force, Fc centrifugal force, mr omega square whole square plus 2 mg into mr omega square. Cos of 180 minus 5 will be minus cos 5. Cos of 180 minus theta equal to minus cos theta. And here, one more point what you need to understand here it is, in the earlier diagram, you have seen this earlier diagram here. This is a small r and this is capital R. And here there is an angle phi. You have seen this earlier diagram. This is capital R, this is small r. So here what we can write it is cos phi equal to adjacent side small r by hypotenuse capital R. Cos phi equal to adjacent side small r hypotenuse capital R in this right angle triangle. So that small r equal to capital R into cos phi. Let me substitute there. Now m into here net acceleration, let me write it as g phi. Because value of g according to latitude, that's why net acceleration replaced with g phi is equal to square root of here m square into g square plus here m square r square, small r square can be written as capital R square cos square phi omega power 4 plus 2m square, are you following? 2m square g r means r cos phi into omega square, and this cos phi is there, that one and this one square, and here minus will come because this plus into minus will be minus. Go with the calculation but seriously. Take m square common from this square root, then you will get it out as m gets cancelled. G phi is equal to root of g square first term, because m square taken as common in the root will come out as m will cancel on either sides. So first term g square. Next term. Here look at the second term. Omega power 4. Here only you need to remember Omega is angular velocity or angular speed of Earth rotation. At what speed Earth is rotating around its own axis, we call it as angular speed. You know very well, in straight line motion, speed equal to distance by time. But I told you in rotatory motion, in the place of distance or displacement, we call angular displacement. Means change in position of the particle will be expressed through what angle your body has been rotated. That's why in place of distance or displacement in translatory motion, we replace with angular displacement in rotatory motion. So here angular speed is angular displacement 2 pi radian. 2 pi radian angular displacement 360 degrees. 2 pi radian. In what interval of time? 24 hours. 24 hours means, let me write 86,400 seconds. That will be angular speed of Earth. Earth rotates around its own axis and will complete one round in 24 hours. Means 86,400 seconds. For one complete round means through what angle it has been rotated? 360 degrees means 2 pi radian, because pi radian equal to 180 degrees. So the angular speed of rotation of Earth is 2 pi by 86,400 radian per second. 2 pi by 86,400 radian per second. Remember, very important value. Angular speed of Earth rotation. At what speed Earth rotates around its own axis is called angular speed, which is 2 pi by 86,400 radian per second. Reason I have explained. Why I am telling all this story, you know, numerator 2 pi, pi value 22 by 7 or 3.14. But denominator 86,400. As the denominator is very greater than numerator, so this fraction value will be very small. But for that small value here, omega power 4 is there. Into 2 pi whole power 4 by 86,400 whole power 4. Means the denominator becomes very large. So omega is very large, very small. Omega power 4 will be very small. So we will neglect this term, second term. Omega power 4 will be tending to 0. Since omega value is very small. So minus second term, 0 third term. M square taken as common has gone out. 2g capital R omega square cos square phi, written in order. 2g R omega square cos square phi. So don't say omega square to neglect. If omega square is neglected, then g square equal to g phi. So there is no use. So g phi is equal to now. G phi is equal to. Listen carefully. Here it is. 1 minute. I think here in the calculation 2mg. This is g square. Okay, fine. We'll do one thing. Here let me take g square common within the square root. G square is common. Then it is 1 minus here. As g square taken as common, 2 r omega square by g cos square phi. Because in the second term there is no g square, but I have taken common. Anyway, g square will come out as g into 1 minus 2 r omega square by g into cos square phi. This is g phi. Whole power 1 by 2, because square root the. Now you see, this is 1 minus x whole power 1 by 2. 1 minus x whole power 1 by 2. So higher order powers will be neglected because omega is very small. First order power omega square, second order omega power 4, third omega power 6, fourth omega power 8. So higher order terms will be neglected. So g phi is equal to g of 1 minus half into 2r omega square by g into cos square phi. Higher order terms are neglected. This is binomial expander. Like 1 plus h by r whole power minus 2. You learned earlier. 1 plus h by r whole power minus 2. I told you that expansion, and why we have neglected higher order powers I told you. Similarly, 1 minus x whole power 1 by 2. In this binomial expansion, higher order powers will be neglected. So this bracket value 1 minus x whole power 1 by 2 is 1 minus half into x. X square, x power 3, x power 4, higher order terms are neglected because omega is very small. First order term omega square, next order omega power 4, next omega power 6, like that, which are neglected. Now g phi is equal to g of 1 minus r omega square by g cos square phi, because 2 gets cancelled. Finally, g phi is equal to g minus g into 1 g minus g into g gets cancelled, r omega square cos square phi, where g is the value on the surface of the earth, r is radius of the earth, omega is angular speed of rotation of the earth, phi is the latitude. So the value of g at the given place whose latitude is phi is given by g minus r omega square cos square phi, where g is the average value of g on the surface of earth, which is 9.8 meter per second square. I told you, average value. R is the radius of the earth, 6,400 kilometers, 6.4 into 10 power 6 meters. Omega is the angular speed of rotation of the earth about its own axis, and phi is the latitude. So this is the derivation of g at a given latitude. G phi equal to g minus r omega square cos square phi. Go through the calculation part. We have little more discussion on this. Note down. So once look at the board. Just to save the time, I have written the conclusions. You know the value of g varies with latitude according to the equation g minus r omega square cos square phi. Here at equator, phi equal to 0, because latitude at a given place is the angle made by the plane with the line joining the place to the center of the earth. If your place is located in the equatorial region, then you need to imagine a plane in the equatorial plane itself. So where phi equal to 0. So if your place is located at the equator, then phi equal to 0. As phi equal to 0 here, cos 0 degrees value is 1, a small correction, cos 0 degrees value 1. So that here Ge equal to G minus R omega square. Whereas at the poles phi equal to 90 degrees, so that Gp equal to G, because the cos 90 degrees value is 0. Cos 90 0 at the poles, so G phi equal to G is. Now here Ge difference Gp, Ge difference Gp, and a greater minus smaller, where G value is greater at poles. G value is less at equator, because this is G minus R omega. So at poles it is more, at equator it is less. So Ge difference Gp, this symbol is the difference, means Gp minus Ge only, which is R omega square. So there is a difference with the value of G at poles and equator as the latitude of the place changes. At equator, latitude 0. At poles, latitude equal to 90 degrees. Don't forget this. After dealing with this, you see here, at equator, this point is over, we have entered into another point. At equator, the value of G is G minus R omega square. But I am expecting the weight of the body at equator is 0. I am expecting weight of the body at equator is 0. You know weight formula W equal to mg. M mass of the body never be 0. So G must be 0. So when you are expecting weight of the body at equator 0, Ge value must be 0. When it is possible, is it possible? Yes. When you are expecting Ge equal to 0, then G minus R omega square equal to 0. If you continue this, G equal to R omega square, then G by R equal to omega square. then omega equal to G by R over square root. So, if the angular speed of rotation of the earth is equal to square root of G by R, then the value of G at the equator becomes 0, so that weight of the body at equator is 0. But this value calculated, G value 9.8, R value 6,400 kilometers, I told you. If you calculate, this value will be equal to 17 times of 2 pi by 86,400 radian per second. This value is approximately equal to, this value means G value 9.8 by R value 6,400 kilometers. If you substitute and calculate, whatever the value obtained, that is approximately equal to 17 times of the current angular speed, 2 pi by 86,400. So the conclusion is the value of G at equator becomes 0, so that the weight of the body at equator becomes 0. When the new angular speed of rotation of Earth is 17 times of the current angular speed 2 pi by 86,400 radian per second. Means angular speed of rotation of Earth should be increased to 17 times. Then the value of G at equator becomes 0. Then weight of the body at equator will be 0. So this is an important conclusion in this concept. And at the same time, what you need to understand, the value of G becomes 0 when omega equal to square root of G by R. This is one more conclusion. So this is all about how the value of G varies with latitude and the related application. So this is a little lengthy mathematical calculation, that's why it was not continued in the last class. So here on we have completed a discussion on acceleration due to gravity and the factors affecting the value of G. So in the next class we discuss a few numerical applications based on universal law of gravitation and acceleration due to gravity. Then we go for next topic. So this is all 1/3 of the total gravitation topic. It's almost 1/3 of the 30% of the syllabus of gravitation nearly we have completed. We deal with a little more applications part on this in the next class. Go through it seriously. Take care.